Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. I'm with Oculus Rift Reviews. Today we're going to review and play Sparc VR, a game on the Steam Store and the Oculus Store and the PlayStation Store. I mentioned PlayStation not because I have any experience with PSVR, but because this game is cross-play, so you will be playing against players from both the Oculus Store and PSVR if you're on the Steam Store version. This is the Steam Store version that you're watching on the video. This game is free to play weekend, which means you can try this game for free for the entire weekend. And it's on sale, 50% off. Normally it retails for $19.99, but it's 50% off for $9.99. It's available for the Valve Index, HTC Vive, and the Oculus Rift on the Steam Store version. I actually already own this game, and I have the Oculus Store version. However, like I mentioned, I'm using the Steam Store version under the free-to-play weekend, so that's what you're watching right now. This game has customization options. You can change the look of your avatar. There's different colors. You could actually spend a lot of time right here just in the character customization screen. But you'll probably want to play competitive. Before you do that, you probably want to do the tutorial, learn a little bit about the game, do some of the challenges. That way you get a hang of throwing the ball. This game is very easy to learn, but it is difficult to master. Obviously, it's a little bit like dodgeball, but it's made completely for VR. So you're going to play within your play space, and so there is no artificial locomotion. You can move within your circle. If you move outside your circle, you're going to get an out of bounds, and you're going to get your screen, your view limited if you get out of bounds. But basically, in this game, you're supposed to hit your opponent with the ball that you have, or try to deflect their own ball back at them. And you can dodge to avoid getting hit. And you can also get a shield that's limited, or in basic mode, you have your knuckle guards that you can also block or deflect a ball, but that's limited use, and that's only in basic mode. So there's two modes, basic and advanced. Advanced doesn't have the knuckle guards. In my experience, most people queue up on the basic mode and not the advanced mode, so beware of that. I think advanced right now is the default mode, so if you get online and don't see anybody online, make sure that you visit both the basic and the advanced. That's one thing I don't like about this game. In fact, that's the big flaw about this game, is the player population. So I really like this game. I think it's great. It's very well polished. It's a fun game, good workout. The big flaw, and the reason that I do rate it lower than it should be, is because of the player population. It's a very low player population. Now, it's not dead. You'll find players playing this game, but usually just a small number during peak times. So, and if you're in the USA, it's during weeknights, and on the weekends is when you'll find other players playing this game. It is possible to get into the game and not see anybody else online, especially if you queue up on the advanced, but that's just been my experience using the Oculus Store version. Usually I go against other PSVR players. That's been my experience, but I would say in total I'll maybe only have like 4 total hours in the game, so it's not like I play this game every day. But this is one of those games where I have a lot of fun each time I play it, and it's an interesting game. Like I said, it's made totally for VR, so there is no artificial locomotion. There's no cheats like most VR games. You're gonna have either teleportation, full locomotion, something like that keeps it from being total 1-to-1 in VR. This game is totally unique in VR and works in VR. Probably wouldn't work in real life, but it's 1-to-1 to your movements and your actions. So there's absolutely nothing artificial here in VR. It's all 1-to-1 representation. It's super easy to learn, but it is difficult to master, and you might get frustrated at first because you do have to be good at throwing the ball, and it might seem weird throwing the ball at first, but it does make sense. So what happens here? Let me try to explain the blocks, the shields, and the throwing. So when you have your own ball, you can deflect balls with your shield. As soon as you let go of your ball to throw, however, you no longer have the shield. Now I'm going to talk about basic because that's probably what you'll play. Now you still have your knuckle guard, and you have one charge to deflect the ball or block it with your knuckle guard. But once that is done, you have to either dodge, to get out of the way. And obviously it's a lot more difficult to block or deflect with your knuckle guard. So the trick here is to try to throw the ball so that it bounces off the walls, bounces in a crazy manner, in a way to get past your opponent's defenses, and also try to feign your throws. So if you feign your throws, you're going to get your opponent to throw his ball. That way you can deflect it with a shield and also throw your ball simultaneously. That way they have to keep track of two different balls, and thus making it more difficult for them. Also, every time that you throw the ball, you want to get at least to the space behind them. So if they can't block it and they dodge, you can get a strike. And once you get a strike, you'll be able to throw the ball faster against your opponent, and the ball will also get bigger. Again, making it easier to hit them and easier to get those strikes as well. The more strikes you have, the more this happens. And so soon you'll be able to score against your opponent. This is a fun game. I recommend it, but the low player population makes me give it only a 7 out of 10.